Okay, so we are presenting or talking about the asset tagging and enumeration exercise. This is in line with management's decision to ensure that all our assets nationwide are tagged, and properly enumerated. And that's the essence of this exercise. And so this presentation is meant to discuss what this exercise is all about and what you need to do to give us a good result. So in this presentation, we'll be talking about 6 items. First is the background and introduction to this exercise. The next is asset classification. The next is guidelines and tips for successful outing. Then we'll talk about sample forms. That is the forms you're going to work with. It's already failed here in this presentation. It's just to explain to you what you want you to do when you get to the field and how we want you to fill the form so that we'll have uniform presentation. Then we would now show you the travel schedule, which you are already aware of, and then do some form of conclusion. So the first question is, why are we doing this work? It's important you understand why, so that you would put your heart to it and not do it as one of those things that management does. The reason is that, as you can see, management intends that we map assets to staff and locations. And the idea is to provide a qualitative data of all FIRS assets nationwide for the purposes of identification of all the assets of the service in their respective categories and locations. Now, I'll start by explaining the second point. So before now, this particular action or activity has been approved by various chairmen in the past. But for some reason, this work has not been done properly. And our asset database nationwide is not clean. So if we want to know how many tables we have in all the states, how many air conditioners we have in all our offices, we don't have any data that is as updated as we want it. Of course, some of the recent things that are being procured are updated, but they are not in a way that we can use them. One of the times that they needed it for an application that's meant to be used by the service, we realized that our database are sometimes duplicated and in some instances triplicated. And because of that, it makes the integrity of the data is questionable. And so management now deemed it fit that we need to clean up our asset database. And that's one of the reasons. Then the second is, beyond that, sometimes we get requests that an AC needs to be repaired. Take, for instance, in Bauchi MSTO. And when this request comes, in a month's time or 2 months' time, another request comes, another AC needs to be repaired in Bauchi MSTO. And so the question is, how do we know that we are not over repairing these equipments? So we want to start tracking assets by their location, by the floor where they are, by the room numbers where they are, and sometimes like laptops or printers, to the officer or that is being assigned to it, so that we can have a place where we can easily identify all of our assets. And then eventually there will be a software that will be used for managing all of these assets so that we can have efficient maintenance of our assets nationwide. I'm sure you'll agree with me that these are noble objectives. And that is why the chairman of the service approved for some money to be spent for which you were paid to be able to participate in this exercise. And in the magnanimity of those managing this event, this activity, we felt that engaging you that is in the state to in this activity will be noble, since we are coming to your states. All right. So for us to be able to do this asset work well, we need to understand the different asset classifications that is present in the service. It's used globally and it's also used by the 7. And for us in the service, there are 7 classifications that we use. The first is furniture and fittings. The next is office equipment. Then we have security and safety equipment, plants and machinery, motor vehicle, land and building. So I'll take time to explain each of them. So the first is furniture and fittings. For furniture and fittings, these are the categories of items. These are different items you will find under furniture and fittings. The first is table and conference table. So I'll show you pictures to understand the difference between these two. And then we'll have coat hanger, we'll have chair. These are the group names that will be identified as the item in the forms you're going to be filling. We also have sideboard. We have window blind or window blinds. We have desktop, cabinet, sorry, desk, not desktop. Desktop is computer. Desk, cabinet, cushion. Cushion is different from settee. Cushion is when it's just like a piece, but settee is when it's a complete set. Then we have bookshelf. We have artwork. Artwork are those paintings by the on the wall. And then we have tender box. Tender box is usually in procurement department where contractors come to submit their tenders. We have signposts or signboard. We have storage rack and workstation. We also have office cubicle, those large tables that are high that security men sit behind. They can also be recognized as reception desk, but office cubicle is more appropriate for this assignment. Then we have computer carts. I'll show you some pictures. Now, take for instance, this is double bookshelf with glass. Double bookshelf with glass. They are all bookshelf. These two are all bookshelf. But to specify it clearly, this bookshelf will be the, when I'll be discussing the template, there is a column for item, there's another column for description. So under item, you note it as bookshelf. But under description, you describe it as double bookshelf with glass. The ones that doesn't have glass, you call it double bookshelf. No need for with glass anymore. While this is single, it's just one single bookshelf. And is with glass. The ones that doesn't have glass, you just call it single bookshelf. This is a sideboard. Those boards that are by the side, they're usually in director's office or probably in some offices. They are by just the side, like window level height, the base of the windows. That's about the height. So those ones are called sideboard. So the entire collection of that sideboards in office are usually classified as one. All right. Then we have visitors chair. There are different types and designs. This is not the only design, but this is one of them. So the normal standard visitors chair that has handle is called visitors chair, whereas the one that doesn't have handle is called armless visitors chair. This, we are taking the pain to explain this because we want unified recording. We don't want you to record something different from what someone else is recording. All right. And this is a typical show of office desk. It's a flat rectangular shaped desk. And that is how we identify it as office desk. Whereas when it is curvy like this, it's called a wave desk. Sometimes or most times you find this type of table in a workstation. And so it's actually a workstation based type of table. But when they are separated or they're alone, you just call them wave desk. This is another type of wave desk. I'm sure you've seen them. This is the rear part where the officer sits, and then this is the front part of the table, the same table that was taken from different side. Now, it's also a type of wave desk, but to differentiate it from this type, we'll call it three-way wave desk. This is usually used for the four-way wave desk, while this is usually used in the three-way wave decks. Because if you bring three of this type together, it forms a three-way workstation. Whereas if you bring four of these, it forms a four-way workstation. All right. Then I'll talk about angle table. Angle table are usually tables that has a turn by 90 degrees. So in this instance, you can see it turns by 90 degrees, except that, okay, there's a chamfer here. Most times these are found in offices like secretaries to directors. They use this type of tables. they are usually not so elaborate and just call them angle table. But for directors that use 90-degree tables, but are elaborate and large or big in size, those are called executive angle table. Then we'll have the curved table. These are usually meant for coordinating directors. Curved table. You can see it's curved. It has a curve-like shape around it. It can also be called winged table. It looks like wing of an airplane with this edge and that edge. But we're not using winged. We're using curved. Curved is just appropriate for what we want to use. You can notice there are other assets here, like there is a fireproof cabinet here. There is a refrigerator. This is a single bookshelf with glass, another single bookshelf with glass, but this is double bookshelf with glass. You can see the two handles are here, so you can just open them. Then you can, this is another type of visitor's chair. This is a printer, HP printer, a coat hanger, and other things in the office. We have meeting tables. Meeting tables are different from conference tables. Conference tables are usually, they have spaces in between. They have hole or space in between. So you just have a, like an ellipse shape that makes a conference table. But meeting tables are just flat tables where you put seats around them. This is a 4-seater meeting table because you can sit 4 seats. Whereas this is an 8-seater meeting table because you can sit up to 8 seats. So you just use your visual representation to identify which is a 4-seater, 8-seater, 6-seater. And if you don't, you can take some measurements or ask questions from the admin officers or users of the office. They already know what it is, because sometimes you may go to an office, the chairs may not be around it. Now, when you identify this table, it doesn't mean you've covered for the chairs. The chairs need to be identified individually. This is a tambour cabinet. Tambour, T-A-M-B-O-U-R, tambour cabinets. You'll find this in many of our state offices, just so you take note of it and record it as such. Then, of course, we'll have coat hanger, and we'd like you to, under the item, you write it as coat hanger. Under description, you describe it as wooden coat hanger or metal coat hanger, depending on the type you see. Then we'll have executive chairs. So this is medium back executive chair. It doesn't have a headrest, but it's high and it swivels. And so you call it medium back executive swivel chair. But this has a headrest, and that is what differentiates it between this and this. So we use this headrest to identify this as high back executive swivel chair. So that is the difference. There is this other type that is like, they look like visitor's chair, but they swivel. So those ones, they are short, their backrest is short in size. They are not medium back. You just call them swivel chair. They are not executive either. So swivel chair just takes care of those particular ones. Then this is an example of a 4-way workstation. There is also a 3-way workstation where 3 tables are brought together. And so when you see them in this way, record it as 4-way workstation. But if these 4 tables are separated and kept in different places, record them as individual office table. You can see they are rectangular in shape. So you just record them as individual office tables. So I'll move over to office equipment. I've talked about furniture and fittings. For office equipment, we have air conditioner, refrigerator. Please, when you're recording, do not write fridge, write refrigerator. Then we have water dispenser, we have metal cabinets, we have shredder, microwave, fire cabinet, standing fan or ceiling fan. We have fireproof safe and fireproof cabinets. I'll show you the difference between fireproof safe and fireproof cabinets. Then we have mobile filing cabinets, photocopiers. For photocopiers, we really want to see both the serial numbers and the model numbers. Very important. Serial numbers are usually found in the maintenance logbook that is embedded in many of our photocopiers. So once you get to the office of your assignment, try and open the shelf or the compartments where papers are kept. they would normally dock the maintenance logbook there. The serial number there, please take note of it. They will have stabilizers, stamp duty machines, TV sets, public address system, camera. We also have radio and loudspeakers, wooden cabinets, steel waste bin. These waste bins are those large metal waste bins that are usually outside of the office. That's the one Babambola most times passes to pick up stuff. And these waste disposal companies come with their trucks to unpack. So those, they are actually non-current assets because of the value, their monetary value. So take note of them. Then there's biometric attendance device. This may not be applicable in many of our state offices, but in the headquarters, we have attendance. So you just come and place your finger and it records that you have come to work. So it also falls under office equipment. Now I'll show you pictures. For instance, for refrigerator, a standard refrigerator with normal height of this is just called refrigerator. But when it is sort of, short, like when it's just this portion of the fridge, it's called medium height refrigerator. But when it's short, about this size, it can fit on and be tucked on a table. That is called tabletop refrigerator. Tabletop refrigerator. Okay. Then this is mobile filing cabinets. Mobile filing cabinets, usually they are in compartments. You can see compartment 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Each of these is not an individual item. All of them makes up one set of mobile filing cabinets. The 5 compartments makes up one mobile filing cabinet. That's why it's even mobile in the first place. It means it's moving, it's rolling. That's why these guys are there. So when you get there, when you tag this particular part of the compartment, it covers for the entire compartment. And so you don't have to tag every compartment as separate item. Then I told you that I'll show you the difference between fireproof safe and fireproof cabinet. The ones that have just one door are classified as fireproof safe, whereas the one that have shelves, the one that has shelves like these ones, like that has drawers, like these ones are called fireproof cabinets. Please take note. So you record it as such, because if you say fireproof safe instead of cabinet, we would assume it is this. For security and safety equipment, we have fire alarm system, fire extinguisher, FM 200 suppression gas system, baggage scanner, walk-through metal detector, CCTV system, key management system, electric fence, biometric access control, water sprinkler system, fire hydrant system, fire hose reel system, handheld metal scanners, under vehicle search mirror, man trap revolving door. I'll go ahead to show you pictures. So this is an example of a fire alarm system. So when you go to many of our offices, you see these breakers, you see the alarm gadgets, you see some other stuff in different places on the building. All of these things are different components that make up the fire alarm system. They are all connected to this control panel. And so when you go to these offices, you're not meant to tag or label each of these items. That would be too stressful. All you just need to do is to tag and label this, and then take note of the tag number and all the details associated with this. This covers for the entire items you see. So for the fire alarm system. We have fire extinguisher and FM 200. For the fire extinguishers, please, when you get to the office, identify each one as one. The previous slide, I said identify these. So they are usually one fire alarm system for the entire building. All these are all connections. If there are 2, you take the 2. But most times they're usually just one in a building. So I said identify this and tell us the different capacities. This FM 200 suppression gas system, they're usually found in many of our data centers or ICT server rooms. So there's a tendency that in 1 or 2 of our offices will have this. So just take note of it and note it as such. FM 200 suppression gas system. They'll have baggage scanner, you know what it means, walk-through metal detectors. We'll have CCTV, surveillance camera. So take note of them. The entire CCTV connection in the building is one. They're all connected to a panel that controls all of the cameras. Do not note each of the cameras as separate item, except it is a standard camera that are used by videographers, which is usually not in your office. But the entire CCTV in an office, they are all one. They are all bonded into one. So once you tag the panel and try and gain access to that room, the control room where this is, with the help of the security, security safety officers in your office, or the facility officers, or the admin officers, or probably the head of the office, so you can tag them. Then there's biometric access control. We have the fire hose reel system. Anywhere you see each of these, name them as one and label it as such. But this water sprinkler control system is one most times per building, except you have up to 2 separate connections, but usually 1 per building. So when you go there, you see these water sprinkler connections visible in some instances. Do not bother tagging or labeling it. They're all connected to this water sprinkler control system. And once you tag and enumerate this particular one, it covers for this. There's also fire hydrant system. Most times there could be 1 or a few in a building. So take note of it, tag it, and record it for us. And so we have access control systems. Access control systems. This is the electric fence and electric fence panel. The electric fence panel controls the electric fence. So when you tag and label this panel, it covers for the electric fence. Please do not go and touch the electric fence before it shocks you. Nobody sent you. The chairman did not send you to do that. This is what they ask you to tag and label. Then take note of handheld metal scanners, as well as on the vehicle search equipment. We have the CCTV and biometric controls. Oh, sorry, this is a different title. The key management system and the man-trap revolving security door. So of course, you know these things. So just take note of them. We'll move over to ICT equipment. For the ICT equipment, we have routers and switches. Most times they are docked in racks. So I'm sure you identify. So the container that houses these switches and routers are called racks. Access points are the ones that are tacked by the roof ceiling of your rooms. Those ones are called wireless access points. The ones where you connect LAN to, they are actually just access points because they are connected to the wall. Then we have UPS, we have projector, desktop computers, laptop computers, printers, and scanners. All right. Then we have plants and machinery. Plants and machinery are for generators, transformers, diesel tanks, surface pumping machines, water filtration tanks. We forgot to add that. Water filtration tanks, they're all under plants and machineries. These categorizations are important to know them because there will be forms I'll be showing you. We would want you to record generators under furniture and fittings. So you need to know which one falls under where. Okay. Then for motor vehicles, there are trucks, ambulances, buses, sedan car, and SUV. And finally, for land and building, we want you to let us know the land and the building that you are taking. Do we own them or are they on lease? So the moment you can identify any or each of these, please append owned or leased on each of them. So in the next section, I'll be discussing the guidelines and tips for successful outing. Tips and guidelines for, and I'd like you to pay attention because we want you to do a good job regarding this particular work. So the first is carefully fill out all the relevant spaces in the template for each category of asset. Do not leave any important detail out. Try and fill every section. Each sheet is to be used only for one category of assets as marked on the template. And therefore, you shouldn't use a sheet meant for a category, for a particular item. Do not use the sheet meant for a particular category for another. So like I mentioned, do not record ambulance under ICT equipment. They don't match. All sheets used are to be jointly signed by yourself and the head of the office you're visiting. There's a portion for you to enter your details, and there's a portion for the TC, state coordinator, or director to also enter their details. Tagging of solar panels should be individualized. All solar panels, each single solar panel should be tagged separately and all the details noted. Window blinds should be recorded per office. So if you have Kaduna MSTO in one section of the building, Kaduna MTO in another section, all of the window blinds covering that office is one. So just tag one portion, or if the tag is already there, record that tag, and that is it. Don't go window by window. So, but if an office occupies an entire building, all that window blind in that building is called one. So just give us the detail of just that window blind. And then for fire alarm system, they are, like I mentioned, they are all one, except for in the control panel, where the control panel is. If there are stabilizers connected to control panel, the stabilizer is a separate item. But the control panel that connects all the fire alarm system is what you're going to tag, and that covers for all the fire alarm system. And it's usually one per building, except there are placed floor by floor. And then record existing tag numbers. So most times, most of these assets are already tagged. Record them. And if you can't find any of the items tagged, please affix a tag number and record it before leaving the office. Remove all multiple tags on mobile filing cabinets, but leave only one. There are instances where the 5 compartments I showed you in that mobile filing cabinet are all they are all tagged, the 5 of them, and that's wrong, because the 5 compartments all mix up. The 5 compartments all mix up. The 5 compartments all make up one mobile filing cabinet. So in the instances, just like in the instances where each of the compartments are tagged, remove 4 of them and leave 1, because we need only 1. And then the remaining 4 or 3, remove them and put it in a nylon bag and return it back to the head non-current asset. So for those of you in the state offices, you may not be coming back to the head office. Of course, you're going to return to your state. Find a way to send it back to the head non-current asset in the name of Mr. Simon Ahupa, who I'm sure you've been seeing his mails as well. If a workstation is put together, record it as one. But when dismantled, record them separately. So there are instances where you have a 4-way workstation or a 3-way workstation dismantled. So when they are dismantled, each of the table are identified as one, but when they are together, they are a workstation. If a workstation is together and has 3 or 4 separate tags, remove all the tags but leave 1, because it is now one item. And then those ones you've removed, please document them somewhere and bring back or send back those tags you've removed back to the head office and to the head of non-current assets. If a tag number is peeling off, there are instances where some tag numbers are peeling off. But if the details are still visible, write the number on a masking tape and place on that particular asset. Do not peel it off, and do not replace that peeling tag with another one. You're going to get a masking tape and placed on that asset and rewrite all the details in that tag number that is peeling off. Enter it on that masking tape. When recording for land and building category, ask for land procured in your respective locations. You may not know that there is a land that we have. Just ask for it. You don't have to go to the location. Get the details and record it in your sheet. Now, in the column that will be present, in the template that will be presented to you shortly, for columns, for the column for floor, Ground floor is recorded as 0, not ground floor. Just write 0 there. First floor is recorded as 1. Second floor is recorded as 2. Please do not write second. Don't write 2ND, 1ST. And when you write this thing, just make sure that you are painstaking about making sure the floor is there. So if you're going to a bungalow office, a office that doesn't have any floor, just write 0 under that place. We've just made it easy for you. On the template, item refers to the group name for asset type, e.g., chair. So all the different types of chairs are identified as chair, whether they are high back executive chair, medium back, whatever type, they are identified as chair. But in the description column, you will not tell us what type of chair, like high back executive swivel chair, medium back executive swivel chair, visitor's chair. Same with table. For table, under item is table, but under this description, you not tell us, is it conference table, is it meeting table, is it office desk, and the rest. For status, don't write too much English. Just tell us that it is in use, not in use, or pending use. In use means that they are using it there. Not in use means that it is probably bad and they're not using it, or it could even be good, but they're not using it. It's not in use. Pending use means that they bought it, it is stored in the carton, they've not unpacked it, they're not using it. Probably stored in their storehouses or in their storeroom. So in those instances, what you need to do is to go to their storehouse and take note of those things. If they are junks, please, they're already due for body. They're not pending use. You're not going to use them anymore. Pending use means that they're in good state, but they're not in use. Remark is where we now identify, are they good, are they bad, or are they serviceable? The good ones are good. You can tell they are good. They are functioning. The bad ones are terribly bad. It means that there's no redemption. They are good for budding. The serviceable means that they are bad, but they can be repaired. It's just maybe one handle broke or one key is falling off or the AC is not blowing well. They are serviceable. Take note of diesel tanks when you are recording your generators. Don't just record generator and assume it has covered for the diesel tanks. We want to keep track of all the diesel tanks that are associated with our generators. And then ask for their sizes. They usually come in 11,000 capacities. They could be 5,000, they could be 20,000. Find their sizes. The soft copy template shown in this presentation shall be forwarded to you for adequate record. So we're going to send you pictures and all of these things. So I know I'm passing in a lot of information, so you may not remember everything. We're going to send you guides and all of this important information. So when you are taking note of this thing, you can have a guide to work with. Get only the tag numbers of indoor units for ACs. There have been lots of controversy about this AC thing, but we concluded that for ease, because there are instances where you can't access the outdoor unit. Some of them are on top of a roof, they are hanging by the side of the wall, and they are also equally tagged, you know. So for ease, get the indoor units, and if they are not tagged, tag them, climb on a chair or get someone to climb for you and tag them and take note of the numbers. But if the indoor units are tagged, record it and take note of it. That will help us know and have idea of the different ACs. Because if you record an outdoor unit and also record the indoor unit, that's one unit. The two of them are one unit. It will multiply our data and to make it difficult for us to work with. All right. Take pictures to complement the entries. There are instances where you need to really take pictures to help us understand how bad the situation is. Don't send too many pictures of one particular thing. Just one or two is fine for a particular issue you want to help us understand. Not that you're only sending 2 pictures. I mean, for a particular issue, not more than 2. Don't send us 10 pictures for a particular issue. All right. Then, of course, if you want to report 10 issues, you can send us 10 pictures. All entries should be done in Microsoft Excel format because you're going to send us both hard and soft copy. Don't use Microsoft Word to enter the details. Use Microsoft Excel. And then do not use abbreviations. Don't write GNR for general. Don't write 1ST. You know, tell us, write it in full. And there's one habit most people do. you see people trying to start a sentence and the first letter is small letter. That is not what you were taught in school. Please always start your sentence with a capital letter for the first letter. It's important. All offices under your team are to be visited by every member on that team. The office appended, to your name on the sheet that was sent by Simon is not necessarily the office you are to visit. In that sheet, you realize that maybe Aguda MSTO, Onikan MTO, for instance, is appended to your name. Then another person, another name, office is appended to his name. It does not mean that those offices where you're going. It only means that all those offices are in your team. So you can meet as a team and rearrange and plan how you're going to go and who is to go where. All completed sheets, and please take note of your questions, there's opportunity for you to ask them. All completed sheets must be returned to the office of the Deputy Director, Financial Accounting and Reporting. That's the person of Mr. Stanley. So you're going to be sending these things, both hard copy and soft copy, not more than 3 days after the visit. So as you are making your visit, start entering your details in the Excel sheets so that within 3 days, you'd have sent it to us. Each group must work as a team. We will not accept individual reports. So you go to your own office and you finish your own. We will not accept it if you send yours alone. You're going to collate every work in your team, make sure it's cleaned up, and send it to us. For further inquiries, please contact the Deputy Director, who is the head of this committee, Deputy Director of Financial Accounting and Reporting, Mr. Stanley, on this number. You can also contact the head of non-current asset, Mr. Simon, on this number, or myself on this number that is on the screen. Don't worry, we'll send these numbers to you for you to be able to reach us. Now, I'll tell you about some tips for successful outing. From our previous visit and from experience of those that have gone in the past, what they have realized is that before staff come into the office, they go very early. Some of them go very early, like 5 a.m. If the place you are going is safe and there is no problem, you can go very early before staff come, because when staff comes and you want to ask them to stand up and you want to turn the chair, so you read the tag number, that will be a bit difficult. So it's best if you can start your work before they arrive. And so if you're going to do that, go the day before, arrange with the tax controller or head of the office, speak with the security, let them know you are coming so they don't bounce you out. Now, make more than enough photocopies of these forms you're going to send to you before traveling. Don't go there and you are stranded because the office you go to, the ink is not working, there's no paper, and where to get these things may be difficult. So make more than enough copies. In exception of maybe plants and machinery and land and building. Land and building, most times just 1 or 2. Plant and machinery is 1 generator, 1 water filtration tank, maybe 2 generators. So those ones can just be one sheet or maybe two sheets. But furniture and fittings, office equipment, you may need to go with 30 sheets or 50 sheets. It depends on the number of items you find there. So make more than enough copies. And then when you get there, you don't have to do all this work alone. Imagine bending down, taking, some of these tag numbers are under the chair, under the table, or climbing on top to see the tag number of an AC, or it can be a lot. And covering these offices, this is a tasking work. Let me let you know. You can be in one office for a number of hours, and so you need help. Get the help of the cleaners and the security men or anybody around, or even some of the officers to help you. If you can buy lunch for them or give them some pocket money out of your pocket, that would be good. It will just help you get this work finished on time. Now, I'll just quickly run through the forms you're going to be filling. These forms are already designated in their different categories. Like this is furniture and fittings. You don't need to write it, it's there already. So when you get there, what you be writing for us is like for FIS office you're visiting, like Kaduna MSTO, you write there. You're not referring to the building, you're referring to the office. So if Kaduna MSTO is in floor 1, Kaduna MTO is in floor 2, please, you're not referring to the building, you're referring to the office here. This is where you refer to the building, the office address. You tell us the address of the building so that we'll know which office is in which building. Then you tell us the department where you are visiting, and then you tell us the date of the visit. You tell us the state, you tell us the city. You fill the state coordination. Like Kaduna is in Benue, Kaduna, and Niger. So you tell us the state coordination where it falls under. before I talk about this, this is where you fill your name. Like here is John Ejembi. Then you fill your IR number and you sign. This is where you fill or allow the TC, the state coordinator, or the director to fill his or her name, fill their IR number, and also sign on each of the sheets. Then under status, we've already made the footnote easy for you to identify, like in use, not in use, or pending use, in case you forget. Then for remark, good, bad, or serviceable, you can also see how we used it here. This particular item is good. This chair is serviceable. So because it's serviceable, it's not in use. They're not using it. Because it's good, it's in use. Sometimes it could be in use, but still serviceable. The person is using it. Maybe the handle broke, but it needs to be repaired. So it just depends on the scenario. So each of these gives us an idea of the state of the assets. Now let me run through the major thing we not need to take note. So here you write the serial number, item 1, item 2. There's no column for quantity. So what that means, you're identifying each item and giving us the details of each item. And so when you get there, please take note of the floor. This one means first floor. It doesn't mean ground floor. It means first floor. This means second floor. Then if the room you're entering has a number, you write it. If the room is designated by a name, maybe name of a unit or something, you write it. So whatever that that's why we wrote room number or unit. Whatever that identifies that room or that section you're going to, identify it here. Then take note of the item, table or chair. Then describe that. So if it's a table, is it what type of table? Wave desk. All right. Then if it is chair, what type of chair? High back executive swivel chair. So all of those descriptions I was explaining before, this is where it falls in. Take note of the tag number, record it. Then tell us the year it was acquired. Most times you may not know, but the state, you that are from the state, if you meet the admin officer of the office or the state facility officer or the state security officer, most times they will have these records. And if they don't have it, don't kill yourself. If you can't get it, no problem. But if you can, it's an additional plus for us. So that's for furniture and fitting. So for office equipment, it's about the same thing. You can see the top it's the same thing. You tell us the office, the address, the department, the state, the date, the state coordination. And then you fill your name and IR number, the head, the field, the footnote is there. Now here's the difference. You also enter the serial number, you tell us the floor. This 0 here means ground floor. And then this means second floor, all right? And then FAR, financial accounting and reporting, is a unit. 111 is the room number. So it depends on how each of them are represented. For item, you tell us it's a dispenser or a refrigerator, and then you describe what type. Is a water dispenser. There could be other dispensers, but this is a water dispenser. And while this is a middle height refrigerator, I showed you a picture of how a middle height refrigerator looks like. You take note of the tag number, you tell us the brand, like Seaway or Samsung. You see, it's different. This template is different from furniture. There's no brand for furniture. And that's why you need to pay attention to these differences. Then you tell us the capacity. Is it a 20 liters water dispenser? Is it a medium-sized refrigerator? Is it a tabletop refrigerator? Is it a standard height refrigerator? Is it a 20 liters container? You know, all of those things, you take time and describe that. Then tell us the year it was acquired. Like I said, the admin officers or the state facility officers may have these details. And if you can get it, that would be good. You tell us the model number and the serial number as well. Now, for photocopiers, I had told you that you should get the maintenance book in the copier. The serial number there is that we need the serial number. Is very, very important. Okay. For ICT equipment, it's about the same thing. You fill all of these details like I've described before and here as well. And then you fill all of these, the room number, the item, the description, the tag number, the brand. You tell us the year it was acquired, the model number, the serial number. The difference between ICT equipment and office equipment is that for laptops and maybe printers, they're usually attached to officers. And so you're going to be asking the office you're going to ensure we're going to be sending a mail. Mr. Simon has noted this. He'll be sending a mail to all, it will go through probably corporate communications to all officers nationwide to make their laptops available at the varying dates that we shall be visiting, so that we can get those details. And then we'll also be notifying the admin officers as well as the state ICT officers to get these details available for you so you don't waste so much time. Then, of course, you then take note of the status and the remarks. What we just need is the IR number. Once we get the IR number, we can get all the details. Then we'll do security and safety. It's about the same thing with that of office equipment, but I'll just run through. This is item 1. It's on the ground floor. It's a fire alarm system. So fire alarm system. This is fire extinguisher, 5 kg gas fire extinguisher. You can see the difference. Then you take note of the tag number, the brand, the capacity. Like this is a 5 kg fire extinguisher. There are other types like 9 kg. So tell us the capacity, tell us the year it was acquired, the model number, the serial number, and the status as well as the remark. And then for plants and machinery, you have item, generator, and then for description, 11 kVA soundproof generator. For instance, pumping machine, 1 horsepower pumping machine. You fill the tag number, the brand, then the capacity. Like you can see, this is 11 kVA. You tell us the size. This is 1 horsepower. You write it, the year it was purchased, the engine number, the model number, and the serial number. As much as possible, these details are usually inscribed on the bodies of these machines. And when you can't get it, speak with the admin officers, they'll get it for you. Tell us the status and the remark as well. For motor vehicle, it's the same thing. So you have car, and like the description will now be Corolla 2014 sedan car. Bus, 14-seater Hiace bus. We need to know the type of bus. You fill the tag number, the brand, the company that produced it, the year it was acquired. Then help us get the engine number, chassis number, and red number. Most times on the body of the vehicles, you see all of this. And when you can't get it, ask them to get them for you. They already have some of these things in their record. Where you see the tag numbers of vehicles are usually at the boot. Once you open the boot and you look up, you find it there written. And if it's not there, append it and take note of it. All tag number, any item you are reporting, you must get a tag number, except for land, building, and maybe transformers, because you may not get near to where those transformers are, except you can paste it on the wall that fences the transformer. Except for those, every item you must get a tag number. It's a must. Like you cannot record it without a tag number. The registration number is the plate number, and then you get the chassis and the engine number. Then you tell us the staff who is using that vehicle. It's important. We need that information. And then for finally the land and building, there's no column for tag number because you are not expected to tag it. You now write, describe the land, 2,400 square meter land at Mira Street, 3-story building at Mbaka Close. Just describe it. Tell us the year it was acquired. Describe the location where it is, behind NNPC Towers, close to Akira Street by MTN. Tell us, is it owned or is it leased? And if there are other further information you want to tell us, oh, this land is in dispute, is undulating, is this, is that, is before this. Just describe any of this important information for us. And so the travel date, you're already aware where you're going. The journey starts from 6th. So the first batch leaves for the first 6th to 9th, these locations. And then next is 13th to 16th, this location. And then finally 20th to 23rd, this location. So I'm sure you already know where you're going and when you are going, as well as your team members. We'll be sending you contact numbers of all the team heads. So you'll be able to reach out to your team head and schedule a meeting. This work is tasking, I must say. It is tasking, and we want you to give your best. Don't just go rush it and leave. We need you to give your best. We need your best. And so take your time and make sure that even when people are assisting you, you're the one recording it. They're just assisting you to paste or take note of the numbers, but be the one recording it so that they will be accurate. Having said that, I would like to thank you for joining this meeting, and I would like to get quick responses, questions, and answers. And in the responses, some of our team members will be responding. So if you want to speak, just raise your hand and identify, and then I'll unmute you. Yakubu raised his hands. Okay. Yakubu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bechidi Nemeka.
Thank you.
And the
Good
team.
afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. I want to find out where you or one happens to go and the TC or the state coordinator is not around and you finish, they are supposed to sign. Will you ask any senior officer there to sign on their behalf? That amend completed one.
Yes, the person standing in for them will sign on their behalf. Whoever that is representing them in their absence will sign on their behalf.
Another one, you talk about faded tag.
Yes.
Are you to rename the tag or to just leave it like that?
If it's faded and you can't see it, replace it.
It's okay.
But if it is faded but you can read the details, if you can read the details, get a masking tape and append it to the asset and renumber. Just copy what was on the fading tag and write it on the masking tape. Okay. And record it in your book.
Okay. Lastly, where do we get the official tag, or it will be sent to us? Official tag.
The tags, yes. You'll be working in a team. So your team members will be, Ishaya, I can see you raised your hand. I'll come to you. Your team head will get it and they'll distribute it for you guys. So what you just need to do is to try and reach out to your team head. We'll find a way to get it across to all team heads from tomorrow, hopefully, and then you can get the tags from him.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Ishaya, please. I've unmuted you. Go ahead and speak.
All right.
I wish I could see your face, Mr. Ishaya. Good afternoon.
I'm asking on those that on leave, that the laptop you are talking.
Yes.
So how can we get it? Are we to call them or maternity, the ladies?
Please. Those ones on leave, they should find a way to send their laptops to the office during the period of your visit.
Okay.
Yes, send a message to them. We're going to send a message from our end, but you also need to contact the office. Let the admin officers get them to send their laptops across for the purpose of this enumeration, so that on the day you are going, the laptops are available for you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you. Is that all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Shire. Mr. Umar. Mr. Umar, you can unmute yourself now.
Thank you. The thing that is there about this tag, some of the tag numbers, I think understand, maybe the asset has been transferred to our office from another office, and they bear different tag number from that of the office. Are we to record that number, or we are to allocate another one?
No, the tag number you find on that asset is what you're still going to record.
Okay.
Don't change it. It doesn't matter. The beautiful thing with this template is that when it carries the tag number of a different location, but on your sheet, you have told us the location where that tag number is. All right? It covers for, it tells us that, yes, this item was originally with a tag number in Kaduna. Now it's not in Kano. All right? That's that detail has covered for us. Don't change the tag number, except the tag is no more readable.
Okay. In a situation whereby there are two tags, we just omit one.
Remove the one that looks weak or fading, and
leave the other
return it. Put it in a nylon. When you are sending your report to your fiscal company, send them back to Abuja.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. But the other one, record the one that you left.
Yes, in the Excel sheet.
On your sheet.
On the on the Excel sheet. That's it. Thank you. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Who is the next person? Okay, my guy is here. Sir, please, I'd like to introduce the head of this committee, Mr. Stanley, the Deputy Director of Financial Accounting and Reporting. Sir, please, the floor is yours. You can unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, I want to say thank you, Mika.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, the participants. I think it's wonderful that we have been together for this past minute. But then, Mika, I want to say that the participation is very low. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I can see that there are only 22 participants.
Mm.
And that is very low compared to number we should have.
Okay.
That could really be a challenge to us because we are believing that everybody will come online because this representation is very important.
It
so
is.
that we can be able to do a very good job. I wouldn't know the reason why other people are not joining. Because if you are not joining, I don't know how you are going to carry out this assignment.
Mm.
That is just, by the way, my own contribution here is that, is it the pastor that raised an issue in respect to paid tag number?
Yes.
There's a little adjustment. I believe maybe I didn't make it known. The marking step might not be good. It might not last.
Okay.
So I'm of the opinion that if the tag is fading or is not there, you can create another column where we have old tag number and new tag number and paste a new tag number there.
Okay.
Rather than use the marking tape that will not last. Because the tag number is designed for tagging non-current assets.
Yes.
That's something we came up with, but I believe that you are not aware of that development. So I'm making it known now that where there are tag number that are faded away, or that you can see that there's a tag number in the assets register, but this does not be a tag number. You can create a column. So we are going to create another column where we have old asset tag number and new asset tag number. They should tag it with tag label we are giving them and record the new tag label rather than use marking tape. So please let us take note of that correction. Because we need something that will stand the test of time.
Yes.
Because if you look at marking tape, it might not even last 1 month.
Yes.
You just remove. But this tag label will be able to stand the test of time. So I would suggest that we should tag it with a new tag number and state like this is a new tag number. Are you with me, Emeka?
Okay. Yes, sir.
And how about the participant? I hope they are listening to me.
They are.
Okay, so please let us going forward, let us be aware, let us be aware of this new innovation. Don't let us use marking tape that will not last.
Okay.
Let me
Noted.
put that across to all of us.
Noted, sir. We would, because, you know, this is what we've been telling them since yesterday. So what we'll do, we may have to do a mail and identifying this. I hope Simon is here. Simon, I hope, are you here? Oh, he's here. Okay, so
Simon is here.
Okay, so we'll do a mail to all participants telling them of this change. Yes. And I'll update this for the next presentation.
Also update the template.
Yes, I will.
Let us have old tag number and new tag number. And this will only be relevant where we find out that the tag number has run out.
Yes.
That's where we now apply the new tag number rather than use the marking tape that will not last.
Okay, sir.
So please let us take it from there.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, Emeka. You can
Thank
continue.
you. Okay. I have a question here from Andrew Pius. Ishaya Ghana, you are next online. I'm coming to you, and Umar. But let me answer the question by Andrew Pius. He asked, in an office where staff are numbering 5 and above and are sharing a particular printer, whose IR number is then are we going to be using? Since staff wouldn't want to be nobody wants to take responsibility for that kind of scenario. In that scenario, that particular one is not assigned to an individual. It's not assigned to an individual. It's a group. So don't bother putting IR number. We're only referring to the one that is assigned to an individual. That's what you put an IR number for. Is that clear, Mr. Andrew? I hope you heard me. Thank you. Umar, please, you have the floor. Ask your question.
That's it. Please, well, my question is that yes, some offices may have balance of unused tax, and you're saying that here you're going to put some. So I don't know, how are you going to reconcile
I didn't get
this?
you. What did you say?
What I'm saying, some offices may be having balance of unused tax with them.
Okay.
That's it. So in that case, I think there is no need for you to send some, or maybe you will communicate with the facility officer or the office admin that if they have tax, let you not bother yourself about sending another tax to them, to the team.
Okay, Mr. Simon, Simon Ahupa, I'd like you to respond to that. Simon, are you there? Mr. Simon, are you there? I'd like you to respond to that.
Yes, I'm there.
Should they use what they already
Yes,
have?
can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly.
Yes, not all the offices have new tag.
Okay.
All those ones that have the old tag, they will continue with it.
Okay.
All those ones that have old tag will continue with it. I will call all the state accountants. So even if you have new tag and you have old one, continue with the old one.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Any other question? Anybody has any further comments? Are we all good?
That is the essence of you.
Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for participating in this meeting. Your presence has been awesome, and we really appreciate you for taking the time. We hope that you get to discuss with other members of yours or colleagues of yours who you know were not able to attend, and get them informed of this. And then if you joined late, I'll recommend you join in the next session, because every single page or content of this presentation is absolutely important. It's not something to miss out at all. And so if you join late, I'll recommend you join in the next session that starts by 1:30, so that we can all conclude in a good mood. Having said that, I'd like to thank you for joining, and we hope that you give us a good job. God bless you. You have a good week and a great time carrying out this exercise. Take care and goodbye.
Yeah, please, sorry, thank you. Can I say something briefly?
Okay, go ahead.
Can I say something? Yes. Please, 13 June may be public holiday. So those of you that fall in between 13 June, you can go on 14 to 17. Then those who are going to a volatile area that sit at home on Monday, they can travel on Sunday and rest on Monday, or they can travel on Tuesday and work till Friday. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Take care and have a great day. Bye.